Sir, good evening, sir. Um,
Good evening, madam.
this is Josephine. I'm assistant professor, Stella Madikina College of Education. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, madam. Happy to meet you.
To meet you, sir. If you want to share the screen, please make a try. If you want to share the screen.
Yes, ma'am. Can I send you my PPT? Is it okay?
If you share also, no problem. If you want me to share also, no problem.
Okay, if I have to share, I'll share it, not a problem.
Okay.
Then it's fine.
Sir, good evening, sir. Sir, Dr. Christy, sir, good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
சாரி, யூனிவர்சிட்டியில் மீட்டிங் இருந்தது, இப்போ தான் நான் கிளம்புறேன்.
அப்படிங்களா?
ட்ராவலிங் காரில். சாரி சார்.
பரவாயில்ல.
நாளைக்கு ஆன்லைன் எக்ஸாம் நாளைல இருந்து ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகுது யூனிவர்சிட்டியில்.
ஓகே. ஸோ அதான் இன்னைக்கு எங்களுடைய வைவா இருந்துச்சு. எங்களுடைய ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் உடைய ப்ராஜெக்ட், ரிசர்ச் ப்ராஜெக்ட். ஆமா, எம்எஸ்டோட ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் தான்.
ஓகே
சரி, ரிசர்ச் பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணன்றதுனால கொஞ்சம் சீக்கிரமா பண்ணாங்க.
ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை சார். நீங்க அதான் டைம், நீங்க உங்களோட கன்வீனியன்ட் டைம் மேடம் சொன்னாங்க.
சரி,
சாரோட கன்வீனியன்ட் டைம். தேங்க்யூ சார். மறுபடியும் கம் பேக். Thank you so much.
I'm very happy to come back.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
அன்னைக்கு பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸ் அன்னைக்கு நம்ம அப்பதான் நம்ம இந்த பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் வாங்கியிருந்ததுனால அன்னைக்கு கொஞ்சம் டென்ஷனா பண்ணிட்ட மாதிரி இருந்தது. அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம ப்ரோக்ராமுக்கு அப்புறமா கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 85 அதுக்கப்புறமா வந்திருக்கீங்க.
நீங்க எப்படி அதை சமாளிச்சீங்கன்னா தெரியல எனக்கு.
ஐ திங்க் நீங்க செகண்ட் ப்ரோக்ராம் நினைக்கிறேன். இந்த கெபாசிட்டி பில்டிங்கோட சென்டரோட செகண்ட் ப்ரோக்ராம் நீங்க பண்ணீங்க. இப்போ மறுபடியும் நீங்க வந்து 88 89 வந்திருக்கீங்க.
Thank you.
Thank you sir. Thank you. பிரேமலதா மேம் வந்துட்டாங்க.
ஓகே.
வந்துட்டாங்க மேடம் இருக்காங்க.
மேபி மியூட் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா மேடம் வீடியோ?
சரிங்க சார். 6 o'clock ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுவோம் சார்.
ஆமா.
டாக்டர் ஜோஸ்பின் மேம், குட் ஈவினிங் மேம்.
குட் ஈவினிங் மேம். குட் ஈவினிங்.
டாக்டர் பிரேமலதா மேம், குட் ஈவினிங்.
மேடம் வணக்கம்.
டாக்டர் பிரேமலதா வணக்கம்.
சார் வணக்கம்.
வணக்கம் மேடம்.
எப்படி இருக்கீங்க?
ரொம்ப நன்றாக இருக்கிறோம்.
வெகு நாட்களுக்கு பிறகு மீண்டும்.
ஆமா மேம், செகண்ட் அவங்க வந்து இந்த நம்ம சென்டரோட செகண்ட் ப்ரோக்ராம் பண்ணாங்க சார்.
ஆமா மேடம்.
மே மந்த் செகண்ட் ப்ரோக்ராம். இப்போ வந்து 89th வந்திருக்காங்க.
கிரேட். எடுத்துட்டு போக வேண்டியதுதானே. ஹலோ
மேம்.
வந்துட்டு இருக்கீங்களா நீங்க? முடிஞ்சிச்சா ப்ரோக்ராம்?
இப்பதான் மேம் ஏறினேன். வேகமா ஓடி வந்தேன் மேம்.
வெரி குட் சூப்பர்.
முடியல, என்ன போயிட்டு தான் இருக்கு. நான் கேட்டுட்டு வந்தேன்.
சார் வைவா முடிஞ்சிச்சுங்களா உங்களுக்கு?
முடிஞ்சுங்க மேடம்.
ரைட்.
ஈவினிங் ஒரு 4 o'clock முடிஞ்சிச்சு. 4:30க்கு. சரி, அதுக்கப்புறம்
நான் தேங்க்யூ இமிடியேட்டா அக்செப்ட் பண்ணதுக்கு.
வெல்கம் மேம்.
அதுக்கப்புறம்
இல்ல, ஆக்சுவலா நான் முன்னையே சார்ட்ட சொல்லியிருந்தேன். அப்புறம் வந்து நான் அப்படி சரி கூப்பிட்டுக்கலாம் சார் வந்து எடுத்து நான் அடுத்தடுத்து இந்த இதுல பண்ணதுனால மறந்துட்டேன் மேம். அப்படி சாரி சார். இந்த கொலாபரேஷன்லயே போய்கிட்டு இருந்ததா சார்?
ஆமா.
சிங்கிளா பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சோடனே உங்க ஞாபகம் வந்துருச்சு. மேடம் நம்ம சார் இருக்கிறாருல அப்படின்னாங்க. மேம் ஆமா மேம் சார்ட்ட அப்பயே பேசியிருந்தேன், மறந்துட்டேன்.
ஓகே.
அவங்க மேடம் பேசலைன்னா நான் பேசியிருந்திருப்பேன்.
Sure. Anytime, ma'am. You can call me.
மேடம் தான் உங்களை இன்ட்ரோடியூஸ் பண்ணி வச்சாங்க. நிறைய பேர் மேடம் தான் அறிமுகப்படுத்தி வச்சிருக்காங்க.
அவங்க யுனிவர்சிட்டியில ரிசோர்ஸ் பர்சன் இல்லையா, எல்லா பக்கமும் எல்லாரையுமே கவர் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்காங்க.
சார் நம்ம அனிதா ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம் கொடுக்க போறாங்க.
அப்படிங்களா? வெரி குட்.
ரைட்.
எல்லாரும் ஓரியன்டேஷன் சொன்னாங்க.
ஓரியன்டேஷன் இப்படி லாங்குவேஜஸ் ஆர் லிட்டரேச்சர்?
லைக் இமோஷனல் ஹைஜாக்கிங் தான் கொடுக்க போறாங்க.
ஓகே.
ரிலேட்டட் வித் லாங்குவேஜ்.
சரி.
எங்க பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸ் வந்து பியூர் லாங்குவேஜ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா அப்புறம் நாங்க கண்டக்ட் பண்ண முடியாது.
சார் அவங்க டாக்டர் ஆரோக்கிய எலிசபெத் ஜோஸ்மின், அசிஸ்டன்ட் ப்ரொஃபசர், ஸ்டெல்லா மெட்டிடோனா காலேஜ் ஆஃப் எஜுகேஷன்.
இன்ட்ரோ듀ce பண்ணாங்க மேடம்.
பண்ணாங்களா சார்? பயாலஜி.
ஆமா. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அவங்க இன்ட்ரோ듀ce பண்ணாங்க.
என்னோட கிளாஸ்மேட் சார். நாங்க எம்எட் கிளாஸ்மேட்.
ஓகே. சூப்பர்.
நான் அவங்களும் ஸ்டெல்லா மெட்டிடோனா.
மேடம் குட் ஈவினிங் மேடம். ஜோஸ்பின் மேம்.
ஜோஸ்பின்
மேம் குட் ஈவினிங் மேம். குட் ஈவினிங் மேம்.
ஜோசினா நீங்க எவ்வளவு ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷா இருக்கீங்க. நான் பாருங்க என்ன விளைஞ்சிட்டு சாகர் முடிக்கிறேன் ஒருத்த. பிரேமலதா மேம் ஏன் வீடியோ ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டீங்க நீங்களும்?
மேடம் செல்போன்ல வச்சிருக்கேன் அதனால.
அப்படியா? அவங்க ரதிசரி மேடம் இன்னைக்கு அவைலபிளா இல்ல மேம். நீங்க தான். ஆமா நின்னுட்டா இருக்கீங்க போன்ல. போன் கரெக்டா வைக்கலன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் மேம்.
கொஞ்சம் லிஃப்ட் பண்ணி ஸ்ட்ரைட்டா வைங்க மேடம்.
வீடியோவே வேண்டாம்.
ஏமா? மேடம் டாக்டர் ஜோஸ்பின் மேம் பிரேமலதா மேம் கோ ஹோஸ்ட் கொடுத்துருங்க மேம்.
எஸ்
மேம் ராஜ்குமார் சார் வந்திருக்கிறாரா? ஜோஸ்பின் மேம் எனக்கு சார்ஜ் எல்லாம் கட் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா கூட நான் முடியறதுக்குள்ள வந்துடுவேன் மேம் வீட்டுக்கு. ஜோஸ்பின் மேம்
ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே.
ஏன்னா எனக்கு சார்ஜர் கம்மியா இருக்கு மேம். நான் வெல்கம் கொடுத்துட்டு ப்ரோக்ராம் முடியறதுக்குள்ள வந்துடுறேன் வீட்டுக்கு.
ஓ ப்ரோக்ராம்னா பிஃபோர் தி செஷனா? ஃபீட்பேக் லிங்க்லாம்
செஷன் வந்துடுறேன்.
ஓகே
மேடம் பேசாம ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிருங்க.
நான் யூடியூப்ல பார்த்துட்டே இருக்கேன். அப்படி நான் சிஸ்டத்துல
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம் மேடம்.
மினிட்ஸ் மேம். பிரேமா மேம்
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம்ல மேம்.
இவர் ராஜ்குமார் சார்.
ராஜ்குமார் நான் கேட்டுக்கிறேன். நீங்க ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்க, நான் சொல்லிடுறேன்.
இங்கே சிக்னல் இருக்காது. அப்படி போயிட்டு அந்த பாலம் பண்ணிட்டு லெஃப்ட் ஓரம் பண்ணி பாட்டுங்க. ஒரு 2 மேம். நான் அந்த ஃபோன் சிக்னல் இருக்க இடமா பார்த்து நின்னுக்கிறேன் மேம்.
சரி மேம்.
ஜோஸ்பின் மேம் ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம் அனுப்பிட்டேன். மேக்ஸிமம் 90% அனுப்பிட்டேன் மேம். கரெக்டா வந்துருச்சு. ஜோஸ்பின் மேம்
என்ன ஃபீட்பேக்?
90% ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம் ரீசன்ட் சர்டிபிகேட் ரீசன்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன் நேத்து உள்ளது.
ஓகே
90% அனுப்பிட்டேன் மேம். அனுப்பிட்டேன்.
ஓகே
இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் இருக்கு. இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் பேருக்கு மட்டும் அனுப்பணும். லெஃப்ட் ஓரம் அனுப்பிட்டேன். பிரேமலதா மேம், ஜோஸ்பின் மேம், ஜோஸ்பின் மேம்.
எஸ் மேம்.
ஓகேவா? ஜோஸ்பின் மேம் நீங்க ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணி சொல்றீங்களா? பண்ணேன்.
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணணுமா?
பண்ணிட்டு சொல்லுங்க, நான் வெல்கம் கொடுத்துறேன். ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடுவா மேம்? இல்லைனா ஜோஸ்பின் மேம் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடுறேன். ஜோஸ்பின் மேம் அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க.
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்க.
ஓகே நீங்க பண்றதால பண்ணுங்க மேம். பண்ணிட்டு சொல்லுங்க, நான் வெல்கம் கொடுக்குறேன்.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to all our dear participants for this one-day online national webinar. To begin today's session, now I request Dr. T. Sivashakti Rajamal, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychology, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, to deliver the welcome address. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Very good evening to you all. It's a great honor and an immense pleasure for me to welcome you all for this one-day online national webinar on emotional intelligence, understanding human relations. First, I express my wholehearted and extend my gratitude our Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor N. Panjanathan sir, most respected Registrar sir, most respected Dean of Faculty, for their constant encouragement and great support to conduct today's session successfully. I am very delighted and excited to be here, and it's a great pleasure to welcome our eminent resource person, Dr. Sr. Christy Anandan, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Reports of Social Work, Sacred Heart College, Tirupattur District. I welcome you, sir, with all my pleasant greetings.
Thank you, madam.
I heartily welcome organizing joint secretaries, especially Dr. T. Premalata, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore, Dr. R.K. Elizabeth Josephine, Assistant Professor of Biological Science,
ஜோஸ்பின் மேடம் நீங்க கண்டினியூ பண்ணிருங்க.
team members and respected all the parties. On behalf of the Center for Capacity Building Program for School Teachers.
Yes, ma'am. Finished, ma'am.
மேம் நீங்க கண்டினியூ பண்ணிருங்க ஜோஸ்பின் மேம்.
Shiva, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll continue, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I? Okay. To begin our today's session, it's my great privilege and pleasure to introduce our today's resource person, Dr. C.R. Christy Anandan, MSW, MBA, PhD, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Social Work, Sacred Heart College, Tirupati. Sir is having more than 13 years of experience in social work with ample exposure in industry and non-governmental organizations. Sir's expertise in project development, strategic planning, and impact analysis. Is to be a continuous to be a trainer for various forums in soft skills, personality development, career counseling also. So social, then Sir is also organized and workshops for employees, teachers, college students, and school children on various themes. He's an expert in research and also a great educator. Sir has published more than 37 research papers in different national and international reputed journals and various published various national and international conferences. Cyrus has also acted as a resource person for 24 workshops for college and school teachers and students. He's also acting as a consultant for a number of non-governmental organizations on project development and impact analysis. Cyrus is acting as a Board of Studies of Social Work at Tiruvallur University, Vellore. So he is the right person to explain about the emotional intelligence, understanding human relations. We are very privileged to have an opportunity to listen to you this evening, sir. On behalf of Center for Capacity Building Programs, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, and all who gathered here, I'll welcome you, sir, to this one-day national webinar on emotional intelligence, understanding human relations. Delighted to welcome you, sir. I request sir to take over the session. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your wonderful introduction.
Once again, I welcome you, sir.
Welcome, ma'am. So it is my pleasure to come back to this particular forum and have a session with the learned members. Thank you so much for this opportunity once again. And today, it is my I'm pleased to present this particular very important title and much needed title among the learned people as well as every common man. Because when we are intellectually strong, most of us are emotionally weak. That is again and again proved when it comes to our own emotional breakups as well as people when they are having a lot of struggles in relationships. So this was giving us a very important motive to bring out this particular theme to discuss among you. It is more of a discussion. When you want to have a break and you want to have a question, you can raise your hand and maybe you can raise the question and you can get clarification also. Because it is more in terms of our own understanding about ourselves and others. So when you say about understanding of self and others, we need to understand more and more about each of us. That's what happened to be today. I have received one message. Both husband and wife were quarreling and having a lot of arguments. And both were silent for some time. And wife could not tolerate the silence. And she said, I'm going to count 1 to 10. And if you're not going to speak, I'm going to leave this home. And this husband was just looking at her and he turned his face towards the other side and she started counting 1, 2, 3, No response. 4, 5, 6, no response. 7, 8, he was very happy. And she said 9. He was very happy that he was expecting the 10. And wife was very silent now. And he was looking at her and he was turning back and he was having a lot of looks around, but no answer was there. He just said, count, count. And she said, this is what I want. If you would have, if you have not spoken, I would have left. Since you have said, count, count, okay, I'm going to stay with you. So this is to state, just to have a fun here, understanding we are having a lot of emotions within ourselves, and we have a lot of intricacies as well as problems within between persons. But if everyone is going to set apart, then there is not going to be any bonding at all. And we cannot also be patient because it depends on how people we are having personality as such. So that is why we are going to look into this particular very important title, emotional intelligence, and the need for human relations. Okay, so let me go for presentation and discuss in detail. Okay, so emotional intelligence. When it comes to emotional intelligence, we often discuss about intelligence, intellect, all these things. But emotions is more often we have a denial of ourselves, saying that everyone is having emotions. I have, she is having, and as well as he is having, and everyone we used to express. But most times we don't really understand what happens with our emotions, in the background of it, what happens. And that is where we have to think about. We all have different personalities and aspirations and wants, everything. So needs and different ways of showing our emotions. If we hope to succeed in life, we need to navigate through this, and all it takes tactics and cleverness. This is where emotional intelligence becomes very important, because when you say about difference, each one of us have a different personality. Each one of us are having a different nature, and somebody's nature is not really somebody's nature is not really aligning with others. So that happens with every one of us. And how are we managing is what emotional intelligence we say. Here there are a lot of key personality types, okay, where you can say that judges, thinkers, feelers, perceivers, intuitors, introverts. So everyone is different. And I cannot say that all my fingers are same. The same way, every one of us say there is no difference, or I mean, we can align or we cannot align, all these things. But still, we are in need of having need to live in this difference with the differences. So that is what we are discussing here. With the emotional intelligence, or EI, is the ability to identify, assess, and manage the emotions of oneself and of others. So if I'm able to understand my emotions, what I feel, and assess what is that, how this particular emotion is playing a role in me and the emotions of others, then I'm mastering myself. If I'm mastering, I have the ability to combat or understand those emotions and accordingly react. It is more a way that I react once I see myself where I'm positioned. In other words, it is a distinct combination of emotional and social skills and competencies that influence our overall capacity to cope effectively with demands and pressures of work life. Okay, work and life. So how do I face the demand in workplace? Okay, there will be a lot of demands from the people. As teachers sometimes, okay, there may be a requirement from the people how you are going to respond to others. Okay, say for example, students will be different, and the colleagues have different expectation. The heads of the department will have a different expectation, and the management will have a different of expectation, and I may have my own expectation. So how am I influencing their thought as well as the capacity to handle these situations? And it is also being termed with the measuring part of it as EQ. So emotional quotient is how one measures emotional intelligence. So this quotient is also another way of understanding. Now, what I need to understand is the emotions, and how I understand, why I need to understand my emotions. Okay, so why I need to have an understanding, it is because I need to relate better to other people. And there is something called NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. This is a high level training programs offered for executives in the industries. Why they offer this neuro-linguistic programming? This neuro-linguistic programming is a very important aspect that tries to change the. Yes,
Sir,
madam.
excuse me, sir. Your voice is
Sir, our
breaking.
voice is not clear.
Breaking.
Ma'am, am I
Please,
audible?
please, sir, please.
You are audible,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
but your voice is, there is a network
Voice is
issue, I
break-
think so. Your voice is breaking. Continuously
Am I
it is breaking. Yeah, you are audible,
okay.
sir, but it's
Okay, ma'am, I'll adjust here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am, I'll adjust my location. Just a minute.
Yes, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, I hope now it is clear.
Very clear, very clear.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
today, to continue with emotions, there are pressures. Even this is a kind of a little disturbance. How am I getting over is the understanding. Okay, giving up or taking a mastery of a next program is where we are in need of evaluating ourselves. And when it comes to a neuro-linguistic program that I was talking to you, that which helps the executives and managerial people, which is very costly program, but they still offer to the organizational leaders, because it tries to change the thinking pattern of the response from the leaders. Why they want to affect the thinking pattern? Because I may have an expectation of my clerk or my subordinate to finish a job, but there may be a problem in the office or the clerk or in the surrounding. But when I start shouting, I have expected you to complete, but you're not doing it, and I'm shouting it in louder voice, the particular person, the clerk, is being shattered. Rather, maybe say, if that particular manager says, "Dear Mister, I never expected this sort of a response from you. It is irresponsible behavior." Then immediately a feeling is being shared from the leader to the clerk or a subordinate, stating that I am not happy as a leader. This will enhance the clerk or the subordinate to work further to meet the expectations. Rather, when you shout at that particular person, what will happen? The person who shouts has a bad image, and the subordinate will only shout or go and lament about you with their colleagues. So that's what happens. So why I need to understand my emotions? So even neuro-linguistic program is also enables a person to understand their emotions as well as the feelings, the thinking pattern, so that the linguistics, the language that they apply to speak with others is being modified. So in the same way, next to say, form healthier relationships. When I shout others, definitely I have a bad image. So I'm not getting any respect at all. But if I'm friendly, I am guiding, I'm a person who is guiding. I'm a person who is mentoring as a leader. Then it forms a healthier relationships who would like to share their problems and understand what they want to expect from you. And next is to achieve greater success at work. So it is not sufficient that you have, you're successful in a little works, but it is of a greater success. How you form your own life in the work area and lead a more fulfilling life. So when you have all relations, okay, that is a positive circle, that shows that you have a very positive and a fulfilling life. If negative circle is formed, then I don't have a good fulfilling life, rather agitations, and some of the persons will be backbiting behind me. So that's what happens if I don't understand the emotions of myself as well as others. So here, when it comes to the scientific part of a definition explaining about more about emotional intelligence, the ability to express and control our own emotions is important. That is where the primary part of emotional intelligence takes a place. Respond to the emotions of others is equally they handle people. For example, a student was having a very bad behavior in the college. So in our own department, for example, he was not having any willingness to study the subject, but his parents forced him because he could not deny the force. He has joined the college, but he is not having any interest at all. So what happened? Few times we started shouting at him, and we started saying that, why are you coming here? You are coming and wasting your life, and you are not even listening in the class. You are not adhering to the deadlines, all these things. Then later, some 2 to 3 months happened, and we started having a close interaction with him and learned that he had given a small history in one of the subject of psychology. He was asked to give a short history
Sir, excuse me, sir.
each of these persons,
Sir,
and he has mentioned that very clearly that he is not having any interest in. Yes, madam.
sir,
Yes,
voice
madam.
is breaking again.
Break ஆகுதுங்களா மேடம்?
ஆமா சார்.
sorry for the interruption. I'm resuming it here. Sorry for the interruption.
சார் ஹெட்ஃபோன் போட முடியும், போட்டா பாருங்க சார், கிளியரா இருக்கும்.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Sure. So sorry for interruption. Is it clear now?
Sir? No, sir, no, sir.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Sir, hello?
Audible இருக்குங்களா மேடம்?
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, yes.
Okay.
But voice is too low.
Ma'am, is it
சரி.
இப்போ audible இருக்குங்களா?
Yes, 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 very clear.
Hello.
Very clear, very clear.
Sorry. Okay, இப்போ madam?
Yes, 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 very clear.
Hope it is good now.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, clear.
Madam?
Sir,
Okay,
it is
madam.
good now.
Okay.
It is okay now.
Thank you, ma'am. I will continue.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So here at the same time, yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So when it comes to the response, yeah. So when it comes to our ability to understand, interpret, and respond to the emotions of others is equally important, because when this particular student had a problem, when he started writing his history, we were able to understand what emotional background he is having an involvement here in the college. So it is very important to understand his emotions, as well as what is the assumption that he is here in the college. So later we spoke to him that though he has come inside the college for the department to study out of a compulsion, we have given a counseling and we had an understanding. So with the little series of hello. Ma'am, sorry for the interruptions. We have a very bad network today.
No problem, sir. Please.
I'm very sorry for that.
No problem, sir.
Yes. Let me continue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it's clear, sir. Now it's clear, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so how can you identify or realize when your friend is feeling sad or when a coworker is angry? It is not that easy, that immediate, but it is our association that enables our ability to understand others. Next, last thing, psychologists refer to this ability as emotional intelligence. It is not that easy always to have persons understand us. Okay, and if you have that ability to understand others, that is what emotional intelligence. Okay, here there are four components which we say uh, that gives us more information about emotional intelligence. First, about self-awareness. Okay, so when it comes to a social awareness or self-awareness, okay, self-awareness, first one. Second is social self-management. Third, about social awareness. Fourth is relationship management. That describes emotional intelligence. So here, let me describe about emotional intelligence and what is the self-awareness that we require. That is usually we take a self-awareness training with a problem tree of individuals. When I state problem tree of individuals, we say, who am I? Who are my roots? Who are my, say for example, trunk? What is that describes my leaves and fruits? So when I say, what is the fruit? That's my strength, my weakness, my motivation factor, why I had to grow farther. Whether I am a coconut tree, which is having a tall and with only few leaves, or am I a banyan tree, which is spreading through say some few meters and giving shade to others. And how am I representing myself? And self-awareness lies at the heart of a EA model and to a great extent influence our ability to develop the competencies, develop the other competencies. Okay. So if I understand myself, I can understand what is my liking, what are my interest areas, where I can also represent to others. It enables us to sustain our behavior over time despite setbacks. In short, self-awareness is understanding our moods and emotions. So that is what self-awareness we talk about. And social awareness. Under this context, EA is the best to hear and understand others' thoughts, feelings, and concerns, even when partly expressed or unspoken. Say, for example, when I visit a few of the villages, tribal villages in Odisha, they have their own culture where we do not know language, and they can express. We have only one mediator, but we happen to stay 1 week in their village. Imagine it is like we can have a brief about what they like or what they do not like, what their lifestyle would be like. But it is in our understanding how is that these people understand us. When I was staying, okay, they could make food for us. We were giving some cultural programs. A group of us, we went there, some 8 of us, we were giving some cultural programs. They were giving some cultural items where sometimes it is not expressed, but still there is a communication by little awareness that we socially understand. It is being aware of their needs, others' needs, and it covers how we manage the emotions of others. So we also take up a extra mile to manage the emotions of others. It is like leading, giving a lead, a smile. Give a smile that covers the other's emotions. For example, a stranger comes to you, you just give a smile, then he automatically says, hi sir, hello, how are you, starts. Okay, but if you are frowning understanding like this, okay, then imagine the other person will have a lot of doubts whether to come near to you or not to come near to you at all. So that is where emotional intelligence have a need of a social awareness. And next thing is about self management. It is how effectively we manage our own emotions and how well we control our responses to new ones, new and other challenging situations. Okay, so emotional self-control is the ability to keep impulsive feelings and emotions under control. So think before act. Very important quote that we need to understand when it comes to a self-management. So emotionally, if I'm going to do some tit for tat, and we have a situation, 2 or 3 persons had a quarrel, and a person who is elderly person, say around 10 years elder than the other person, had emotional breakout and gave a slap. The other person, without even expectation, has responded with the same. Imagine who is offended now. Who is offended? How do you control when some quarrel comes? Maybe you are elderly people, you may have taken some overpower, saying that I am elderly and I can have a control over you. But if you don't have a self control, the other way also can happen. So that is what we speak of, think before you act. And relationship management, that is where exactly we are arriving at. Okay, why emotional intelligence is required? It is to manage relations. It is a social skill. It is our ability to apply emotional understanding in our dealings with others. There are various quotes in the next slide, and the other slides I would be talking about Abraham Lincoln. And but this is a very important place where it's also very apt place to speak about. And every one of us are aware that when he has taken a position in as a president, the senators were mocking at him, stating that dear Abraham, do you know what shoes I am wearing? Those shoes were meant by your father. And imagine how a leader, say I am a president, and you are mocking me in front of all others, stating that your father was a cobbler, you are a son of a cobbler. Imagine how would I have responded. There comes the ability of understanding and dealing with others. Maybe it's a little longer version where, as a president, I need to have a very good communication with other senators. And here it is not the right point where I have to take a revenge or an action which is also offending them. There needs a little sarcastic, at the same time managing ability, and having, we speak of in Tamil, we usually spell this particular beautiful word called avai nallolukam. அவை நல்லொழுக்கம். அந்த நேரத்துல எப்படி நான் வந்து இன்னொருவரை மனது புண்படுத்தாம நான் சொல்லணும், அதுதான் வந்து எமோஷனல் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ். There he says, my father was a very good cobbler. He is very skilled at what he was doing. So am I. As my father, I am also very much skilled. Is not only if there is any problem, I can also mend your shoes, but I am also having the ability to maneuver this particular Senate as well as the country. So he has spelled in his own words, okay, in a different way. However, why I am stating here that particular skill, very great leaders, we speak of leaders who have maneuvered the countries with the power. There are leaders who had emotional intelligence where they were able to accept themselves, what was the status, and understand people and their expectation and acted accordingly. And this is where emotional intelligence becomes most visible to the people we deal with. Okay, and it includes the ability to develop relationships, build rapport and trust. So it is a culmination of the other 3 dimensions of EI. So maybe self-management, self-awareness, and social awareness. All these things are required for what? It is for the relationship management. It is to understand human relations. It is to better our relations. So that is where we are here, and why it's so important. And here are some of the very important points that we need to understand also. So emotional intelligence improves your work performance. So when I say work performance, okay, you are having a work and you have subordinates, you have colleagues, you have your seniors. So all these persons are at same work. If you have to have team efficiency, if you want to be your team to have effectiveness at your workplace, you need to have emotional intelligence. I can have a difference of opinion. I may have even n number of difference of opinions with n number of people. But how do I maneuver? It is how do I express my perspective? How do I lead others? How do I motivate others? And that's where we will be able to excel in our career. In fact, many companies now view emotional intelligence as being as important as technical ability required for the industries, and they test also before they hire. As one of the aptitude testing, they also go for EQ testing. And next, when it comes to a great leaders and EI, first example I have explained to you about Abraham Lincoln, and he has taken his role during the divided time where there was a lot of disparity, and he has talked a lot about bondedness. When he has said about slavery, okay, he has mentioned a beautiful quote: if slavery is right, nothing is wrong, nothing else is wrong. If slavery is right, nothing else is wrong, he says. And that's what happens to be a very important statement from him, because when everyone was stating that slavery is nothing, slavery is our right, like that, he has mentioned nothing is wrong, nothing else is wrong. Okay, and you can understand from these statements how strong he was emotionally to have a control over the others, as well as to make people aware that how he has handled other people. Next is about Winston Churchill. Churchill, as a great leader who has handled or maneuvered the country during the times of war, okay, he has to be very strong. He is supposed to be very strong. During this World War II, okay, they had a fear that they might that they might lose. But he said, it is not just motivating the soldiers and other people. It is like he was raising the whole nation for the benefit of the for benefit of confidence in him, as well as for the country to have a big confidence that they will not lose. He said, we will fight in the oceans, we will fight in the beach, we will fight in the landing spaces, and we will fight inland. So, but we will never lose. And the other very important emotional intelligence that was handled in a parliament, when he was called fool, okay, and the particular person who has called him fool was arrested. And then in parliament, he was questioned that why that when somebody is complaining about you or commenting about you, you are arresting them. And he politely said, he was not arrested for calling me as fool, but calling me as an idiot, but during the wartime, he has let out the national secret to others. That's the reason why he was arrested. You can experience a lot of this such comments or other things which we say or stated by various leaders, how they have handled their emotions. It is easy to break out. Okay, it is easy to break out. We are seeing a lot of leaders nowadays, how they break out and shout and handle the press people, and some do not even appear in the press at all. That is different case. Okay, and the third person I would like to discuss is about Pope John Paul II. The church has a lot of history. The Christianity has a lot of history. When it comes to Pope John Paul II, he has a great place in the mind of people as well as in the hearts of the people. For two things I would like to state, which is request for forgiveness from whole of the world, the people, for two things. One is for the killing of stoned to death of Galilee, who said that earth is globe, not a flat, which is against the concept of a Bible where it was stated as a plate-like sort of thing, plain. So he was stoned to death by the church, and he has sought pardon from the whole globe, saying that, whole world, saying that it is our mistake, it is our sin. Second reason, which is very important, he had the guts, that is the confidence, as well as he had a expression, clarity of thought and expression, that he has sought forgiveness from whole world for the crusades in the name of holy wars. How some in one decade how many wars were waged and people were affected. The second aspect, one is forgiveness that he has sought. Second is he has given forgiveness to a person who shot him. A person who has shot him, he went and met him in the prison and he forgave him and said that you are my friend, whatever may be the reason you would have shot me, but still I agree and I forgive you and accept you as a friend. So these are the two reasons why these people were great, and they are being called as a saint as well today. And this shows that they have an ability to forgive and forget things. Second, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, we have one incident that was being narrated by others when it comes to he happened to command and ask his own colleague to go for a extra mile and to have, and to work in the home. And to work in the office. But he was hesitating because he has promised his children that he would take them for a park. So, but however, Abdul Kalam had no way, and Abdul Kalam has asked him to continue to work in the office. Later, Abdul Kalam, when the employee reached home, he found Abdul Kalam bringing the children back home from the park. See, Abdul Kalam may not be able to do that work, but still understanding the employee's concern and the family bonding, he has supported in this way. A great person coming down to support the persons like this is also an example of emotional intelligence and handling a positive relationship. Some of our students, we have a lot of HR personnel in various industries. One narration that I have listened to them through my student, when I sent my student to the internship to another senior student, okay, how they have handled a particular situation. I hope this would be very important for us to understand, and maybe we will be able to understand better how I'm handling the particular situation. An employee comes fast to the HR cabin and states, "Sir, that idiot, the security has turned away my gate pass." That is, when employees wants to go out of the industry, they need to get out of time. That is, during the work time, they need to get the gate pass from the HR, and they have to hand over to the security and leave the particular campus industry. But this particular security and employee had a problem already, so he doesn't want to allow, and he tore off the particular gate pass. And this irritated this particular employee, and he was gusting with a lot of anger and anxiety and a lot of agitation. He came over to the desk of HR and said, "Okay, that idiot has thrown away my gate pass. Why don't you ask him? I'm in a different field and I'm going to thrash him." So this particular HR personnel calmly, he has taken an intercom, asked the security to come and meet him, and he was already into a lot of agitation and in anger. But HR officer faced this particular security officer and asked, "Dear Mr., kindly go and bring the gate pass handed over by this employee." Imagine you are in a situation where already an employee is in a high tension, and you have another employee who is also having a lot of argumentations and problem with the other person, and how you would handle is the biggest challenge. How we would handle is the biggest challenge. So now here is the need for leadership's ability. And immediately here, if I'm going to shout, "Hey, what nonsense are you doing? I have given a gate pass, you have thrown away." And if I'm going to show my authority, what would have happened? And now the truth comes from the security. "I am sorry, sir." Immediate. See, it can be taken for a lot of argumentation, lot of dealing with maybe power and command, but still a simple word. He has asked, "Dear sir, kindly bring the gate pass." He knew already it was thrown away, but still a simple question, "Kindly bring the gate pass." The security officer said, "I am sorry, so sorry, sir, I had thrown away." "Why did you turn?" There comes the response. So automatically they have cooled down the particular situation to a next down level. and now the stress is over, the anger is reduced, and there is some acceptance from the employee. So there are a lot of instances how I'm handling with coercion or with the efficient way of handling the people. So that is what we need to understand, how great leaders have handled and how they have exemplified emotional intelligence could work in different times with the ability of a greater understanding. Here, I would like to state this particular quote: if ego dominates, EA does not function at all. If I'm going to state that I am the leader, do whatever I say. And one incident with Hitler, okay, maybe there is a lot of things he used to, when he is in anger, he used to call all generals and officials, higher officials, give them a heavy dinner buffet where they can eat whatever non-veg, whatever they want, and give them a tablet which is which is for loose motion. Add that and close all the washing closets and toilets. Imagine, he will enjoy the suffering of these people at the end of it. He will make them to eat and give them pills and enjoy the situation of the struggle. So there are things, when I say I am the leader, whatever I say you do, such a sadist perspective also being expected from the leaders also. But now to understand, if I am a leader, I need to leave out my ego and step down and understand people and give a response, which is definitely going to bring the mood down, as well as we will have a better understanding between the people. And what are the other important benefits? So I'm going to talk about 4 benefits which are more important here. First of all, physical health. Because when I'm emotionally unstable for everything, if I'm going to get anger, stressed up, my BP is going to get a high, and I'm not going to have a stable health, maybe blood pressure, heart attack. So many things may happen, which is also not a good thing for us to have a very good physical health. And it is also spoiling my mental health, because when I'm stating stress, it takes into different levels of anxiety and depression and sleeplessness, and wherein which I'm not able to forgive others and I'm not able to manage others. So all these factors will take into the location, and definitely I'm not in the peace of mind. So I'm not able to have a stronger relationships that can leave me feeling lonely and isolated. Okay, so that is the mental health that is being affected. But if I'm emotionally strong, I can maneuver this particular relations. The last very important benefit is like your relationships. By understanding your emotions and by controlling them, you're better able to express how you feel and understand. Just simple openness. Simple that I am having the openness to express what I feel. I'm having the openness to express how I feel about others. And that becomes truth. When it comes to Satyagraha of Gandhiji, says that why you say lie and have a lot of difficulty to hide them, but rather say truth and be happy, be pleasant. So when I'm maintaining truth, my relationships also very positive, and I'm able to have a trust from the other people that he is a reliable person, she is a reliable person. So that is what happens with the emotional intelligence. So how am I going to raise this? Very important to state, okay? All emotions are felt. So my emotions and everything are sensed by our senses, and they are taken to the brain, and then I am letting it out. So all our external instigations or external senses, which takes them to the brain, and then I am reacting. If I have to make this particular reactions, I need to decide make a decision in the brain and let it out in a different way. So that is what earlier I was discussing about neuro-linguistic programming. Okay, when I can think and express, so I program my linguistics, what sort of words I am using as a response. So that is what the ability to act will be limited to the flight flight, just run away, fight back, or freeze, keep quiet and understand the situation. So this is where a wide range of choices where I can enjoy. And here are the some of the other ways. Okay, due to time, I would like to reduce it to little faster. Okay, the ability to quickly reduce stress in the moment in a variety of setting. So ability is like, we may have a stressful atmosphere, move away or stay quiet and reduce the stress level, so that you will be able to uh, have a better feeling about it. The ability to recognize your emotions and keep them from overwhelming you, over excited. That may be a sad news, or that may be a higher news, happiest news. It should not overwhelm us. Then you will dance at a certain time, and you will keep quiet at it at certain time, or you will have a, say for example, you will be emotionally breaking and uh, crying for a certain time. So it is the, you have to recognize your emotions and keep them from overwhelming you. Okay, so third point is the ability to connect emotionally with others by using non-verbal communication. Once again, I state, smile is a beautiful feeling. Okay, a beautiful emotion that you can express. And there was a study about certain, when you smile, you use only few few bones and a few nerves. That keeps you more healthy. But when you frown, when you're in anger, when you frown, lot of muscles, lot of bones, and a lot of nerves are in action. So this utilizes a lot of energy from you, and you are emotionally unstable. So that is where we are speaking about, have a smile, and definitely you will also lighten up, and have a non-verbal communication which expresses a lot about you than having a lot of talking about. The ability to use humor and play to stay connected in challenging situations. Humor is a beautiful feeling once again. Okay, when you make others laugh, they are attached to you. When you make others feel happy, that makes people connected with you. So that is what the heroes may go away from our mind, but comedians stay longer. Charlie Chaplin stays longer than the other heroes and action heroes who could make an impact. Okay, just like Vadivelu in our conditions. Okay, Vadivelu has made a lot of impact, though he is not having good films nowadays, or he is not acting now in many films. But once upon a time, his movies were really attracted, a lot of fans. And the ability to resolve conflict positively and stay confidence. Okay, positively and with confidence is also conflict resolution. How do you resolve the conflicts? So that happens in the next way. And humor, laughter, and play, okay, are natural antidotes to life difficulties. They lighten your burden and help you keep things perspective, okay, in perspective. So laugh to your heart, and definitely it reduces your stress, elevates mood, and bring your nervous system back into balance. Okay, that is the little differentiation between IQ and UQ. Why I have taken this particular thing, all academically sound people are not always successful. They may have really academically had a greater feel and greater success, but may not be in a personal life, and emotionally they are strong. And there are few researchers. Here is where I would like to take it to you. Okay, here the research carried out by the Carnegie Institute of Technology shows that 85% of your financial success is due to skills in human engineering, your personality and ability to communicate, negotiate, and lead. Shockingly, only 15% is due to technical knowledge. So now you can also understand there were a lot of people, business magnates, especially Ratan Tata. When we have his own stories about, and in WhatsApp there are a lot of sharings about how he is he has responded to various situations. It really gives how emotional, intelligent he is, and making over their own employees feel happy to work in Tata. So it is technical knowledge is very little, but how you make people to work for you is the emotional intelligence. Sorry. A Nobel Prize winning Israeli American psychologist Daniel Kahneman found that people would rather do business with a person they like and trust rather than someone they don't, even if the likable person is offering a lower quality product or service at a higher price. In my own experience, I have a friend who used to say, who keeps himself always in a smile, and he is also a business person. Usually say, sir, my customers, I never let them go. Two things. They used to come and tell me that the other shop owner was not at all talking to him and hearing what he requires. First thing. Second, he says, this is 50 rupees per piece. So can you reduce? No, it cannot be reduced. If you want, you take, otherwise you go away. But when they come back to me, they say that my smiling face, when I tell them this product is of 50 rupees, but it comes to me only for 48 rupees. So I have only 2 rupees of a profit. Then they say, sir, even if it is higher, I'll purchase from you. The response you are giving is totally different from what the other person is giving. We have a face value. That is what we speak of, a face value. Customer relationship management. When it comes to a customer relationship management, how you recognize person as a customer, you welcome them, ask them what they are in need of. In the same way, even when people pass by, wish them and ask them, how are you? That makes a lot of difference in your relationship style. So that's what happens in this particular impact. Okay. So what happens if I don't have a emotional intelligence? Because of low EI, people may suffer alienation. We had our seniors, few of the seniors, even if you wish good morning sir, they stay, just nod their head and go away. Then how do you carry out a next conversation? So mostly these people will be walking lonely and come back lonely, and they straightly, in a straight way, they go to classes. Very intelligent professors, they just go teach and have a very strict class and come back. Nobody in between. They can make you laughter, or you can wish and get a very good greetings with a smile. So that is going to make you more lonely, and especially at workplace, as they could not relate to the other fellow colleagues and co-workers. That's another very important thing. If you are not able to relate, and you are alienated by others, it is not that you are alienating yourself, it is also like others also alienate you. This alienation will be reflected in the lack of warmth towards the organization, leading to lower productivity, because these people won't involve in teams. These people will not be able to work in a team. So what happens? They are not part of any committees or any teams, which cuts off them from the roots of the organization, and that affects their performance, because they are not part of any team to contribute. How their contribution can make over. So this is where impact is all about. And at last, as a last slide, I would like to state here, emotional intelligence helps you build stronger relationships, succeed at work, and achieve your career and personal goals. Communicate them clearly, inspire and influence others, work well in a team, and manage conflict. So emotional intelligence gives you a lot of these benefits. If you want to build a team, you can make it very strong because of your positive attitude, understanding your emotions and other emotions. And you will be successful because you have your team with you. You can achieve your career and personal goals because you have a lot of support with the persons. That is where human relationships is all about. So when I say, for example, there are few friends, you call them, I'm going to Coimbatore, there is a person. You go to Kanyakumari, you have a person. You go to any part of the nation, you just have a call and you say, that shows that you are able to connect with the people, and wherever you go, you have a person to talk, and you have a person to support. That shows maybe I have a job in, I have to complete a job in a personal job in say for example in Jharkhand. I have a friend. If I say I have a friend related to somewhere, and my friend's friend, okay, there my personal goals also being communicated, and my job is getting cleared. So it is like, if I'm emotionally intelligent, I'm able to relate better, and relationships or connectivity is increasing, and hence my personal as well as official works are carried very beautifully. So you know now what to do. So improve your emotional intelligence by training yourself, giving a thought to understand better others and self emotions, and wait, give a pass of what you are going to express. That is what think before you act. Keep this in mind. Think before you act. And if there is ego, there is no place for EI. If you have ego, there's no place for EI, because ego says stay alone, EI says get along. So here I complete this session. Sorry for the technical interruptions, and it was out of control. Thank you so much. There was few questions. How to improve to self-control at a time of sad feelings and thoughts? One example I would like to give it to you. We have attended a symposium on death. Imagine, very sad event. We have attended aspects of physical, psychological, and spiritual dimensions of death. And my friend, okay, who were attending, after within a week, his brother suddenly passed away. And at that situation, I was with him. I happened to travel along with him since we were together. We have traveled along with him and reached the particular location, and it was very saddening. And after one day, I came back to my own place, and he came after 2 days. And I asked him how things were, and he expressed me simple thing. Christy, because we have attended that session, I was having a lot of reflection that death is death. There's nothing can be done. And if I'm going to still lament and cry over that, I'm not going to do anything. I have to make over what next. So this is where if I'm able to have a self-control at the time of sad feelings, my thoughts are very clear. My ability to understand the situation is very clear. And second question is about, is there a relationship between IQ and EQ? Definitely there is a relationship. For better understanding, you need to have a lot of knowledge. But handling that knowledge, you need to have an emotional intelligence. You may have a knowledge. For example, in a team, you are expressing a very beautiful idea. But two other people say it is not a better idea and deny you. But you know it is the best idea. And that is called knowledge. Okay. Here, when it comes to they deny, it doesn't mean that you are incapable, but it is the emotions that need to play. Immediately, you should not shatter their words. But yes, of course, I agree. But how do you handle this situation? There needs a relationship. I have intelligence. I also need emotional caution to handle my intelligence. Can emotions be intelligent? Definitely. Whatever I was talking to you with regard to the great leaders, they have expressed their emotions intelligently. They have expressed their emotions very intelligently. That's what we had to speak about. How can I, maybe there was another case study. Okay. How can I improve our emotional abilities and tackle with people who cheated me? Understand them better. Why I'm saying, when they cheat you, there was a purpose. You could understand that they have cheated you, but now you had to understand and say, your smile and getting back to them and stating that it's okay, my dear friend. We can understand your situation, but do not make it forward with the same feelings. When you come down, there is a ego level comes down. That is where I'm saying about you lesser your ego and better your emotional intelligence. Many times is administration which takes unethical decisions and practices which affects all. How it can be managed with normal outcomes? Management is management. When they have authority, sometimes unethical decisions will affect us. How do you respond to it? That's a real problem that we speak about. Okay. When you have administration which takes unethical decisions and practices which affects all, how it can be managed with normal outcomes? Go and discuss in person. Agitations will never be solving the other ego of the authority. But if you go in person without taking it as an issue in a staff meeting, without taking it as an issue in a bigger thing, but you go to a person, if there is a authoritative person who has to be handled, go to him, talk to him, saying that, dear sir, we have understood your rules and regulations or your decisions, but this is not going to really help our team to build better, but rather it is collapsing. So when you go personally and talk to them, definitely they may have a little listening ability. But if you're not going to talk to them and immediately burst out in a staff meeting or bigger meetings, it is going to grow and it will be an ego issue and not an emotional issue later. How to handle anger within family while mistake is not ours and no one tried to realize the truth. Patience. Patience is the only answer for that. Okay. And how can we reduce the double-minded situation and what is the rectification? Double-minded situation, you have to help with the knowledge and support from the friends. So knowledge gives us a rational, okay, rational. How NLP helps handling EQ. NLP is important way that you will be able to help your EQ, because how am I understanding the senses gives a train. I mean, you are having a training about your neural process. When it comes to neural process, you have experienced some experiences that goes to your brain, and how you react is the linguistic programming. So this programming help you to handle your emotions better and others. How you handle your others is depending on the NLP training, and your EQ is bettering by that. Are low intelligence people emotionally imbalanced? No. Intelligence, sometimes if you take people who are having a low intelligence may be strong in a love and bond. They will be better in terms of their expression and their emotions very well. Okay, it is need not that low intelligence will always give you a emotionally imbalance. Maybe sometimes when they are influenced with other things, okay, that may be a reason, but otherwise low intelligence doesn't mark your emotional intelligence, because I'm not very sure of what intelligence you are assuming, whether education or the normal intelligence, because even otherwise also education, people are intelligent. They have their own intelligences, and when you read about Gardner's multiple intelligences theory, it differs according to the people and person. Okay, there are other questions also. So how to control conflicts at workplace? Handle with safe. It's like a glass. Okay, it's like a glass. You put your words, you put your arguments in a more cohesive way. Definitely, is going to break. But practically, you have to give time to explain. If you're going to get into argument, no one is going to listen. But lower down the argument, give polite answers. Definitely, there will be a better understanding in the particular situation of conflicts. What are the practical EI tools to connect with people? Be a happy individual. Be a happy individual, which reduces your stress and handle others better. So when you are happy, the happiest people will come together. So always you will have a better situation around you. Which is more important in life, EQ or IQ? IQ is for having a greater knowledge and understanding about the world. EQ help you to live your life. So it is like how you use your IQ is what EQ. So I may have a knowledge, but I may not have a patience. I may have a knowledge and intelligence, but I may not have may not have the patience to express my reactions, for example, as situations, how I react. That's also there. So EQ is definitely very important. That's the reason why this session was handled. Okay, as an educational administrator, how to emotionally cope with the politician who very frequently come our own way. very big question when it comes to politicians. Okay, this is the balancing thing that you need to understand. Okay, educational administrator and politicians, there is a difference of a thing, but we should know how to build rapport. When you build rapport, politicians are being handled in a very rapport, for example, friendly way. Okay, maybe whatever the come on you.
Sir? Sir, Dr. Christie, sir? Dr. Josephine, ma'am?
Yes,
His
ma'am.
voice is not audible, no, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Christie, sir? Sir, please unmute yourself. Dr. Christie, sir? Unmute. Please unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry that my data reached its own limit and I'm not able to process immediately. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I am done with the questions also, I suppose. Thank you so much for your opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
This is very excellent session, sir. Today, participants Zoom via the 500 and YouTube 236.
Thank you so
More
much.
number of participants today.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Yes,
you so much. Thank you.
Sorry that from my end, since I have been handling my data from morning till evening
No
for
problem.
the student Viva, it was little disturbing at this time.
Dr. Premalata, ma'am, any questions, ma'am? Dr. Premalata, ma'am? Okay, thank you so much, sir. Now I request Dr. Arake Elizabeth Josephine to deliver the vote of thanks. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Gratitude is the memory of heart. Give thanks for the little deeds and you will find a lot. First, I thank the Almighty for his abundant grace and blessings upon us on this day. On behalf of Center for Capacity Building for School Teachers, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, I deem it a great honor to propose a vote of thanks to all those who have contributed to this one-day online webinar on emotional intelligence in related to understanding human relations. We are very grateful to our resource person, Dr. C.R. Christie Anandan, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Social Work, Sacred Heart College, Tirupattur, for giving an excellent coverage on emotional intelligence in related to understanding human relations. Sir has clarified all our doubts very patiently. Thank you so much, sir, for your interesting session. Our sincere thanks to sir for accepting our request and also for making this excellent presentation and making this webinar. We thank you for providing us with such a wonderful opportunity to listen to your resourceful lecture, which is very much need of the hour. I would like to record my thank you, sir. I would like to record my sincere gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor N. Panjanadam, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, for his tremendous support, for his continuous support. And also we would like to express our gratitude to our registrar, Professor V. Balakrishnan, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University. And our sincere thanks to the Dean of Faculty and head of the Department, Education Psychology, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, Professor M. Govindan, for his encouragement and guidance. Then we must mention our deep sense of appreciation for the organizing secretary of this webinar, Dr. T. Sivashakti Rajamal, Assistant Professor, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, for continuously organizing this webinar. Without her hard work, we would not have succeeded in organizing this. I thank all the participants and for your active participation in this session. I hope this session gave you an opportunity to address all your questions. A kind request to all the participants, you will receive all your participant certificate within 2 days. So please be patient for 2 days. Don't waste your time in sending messages. So definitely you all receive your participant certificate. Thank you so much. Once again, I thank you one and all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Sir, once again, thank you so much, Dr. Christy Anandan, sir. Thank you so much, sir, on behalf of Center for Capacity Building Program.
For your
good teachers
coordination. It's an excellent.
Thank you so much.
It's an excellent coordination, ma'am, and untiring efforts you are making.
Thank you, sir.
And I really appreciate your efforts to make such wonderful programs for almost 88. It's a good count, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You.
Thank you all for your patient listening.
Thank you, Dr. Premalata ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Josephine ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you all the panelists, and thank you all the participants. Thank you so much.